What's going on, y'all, and welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody is feeling good on this Wednesday morning. Let's go ahead and get into it because I have some news to break here. On yesterday, I was contacted by a high-powered law firm asking about Kim Porter. They are now investigating the death of Kim Porter, y'all. Let me say this again, y'all. They are officially investigating the death of Kim Porter. Now, of course, I did not feel comfortable talking to this law firm agency by myself, so I got my lawyer on the phone real quick, and y'all, they are asking for everything: emails, USBs, what do I have, what do I know, timestamps, this, that, and the third. It's going down. You talking about a brother being on the phone for about an hour and a half just discussing all of this shit. It's just really crazy. I cannot believe this. I'm so excited because I was one of the ones, you guys know I'm not trying to take the lead like I started some charge, but I always stayed on this Kim Porter story. And despite people saying, well, you're just saying all of this and it's never gonna come to fruition as far as it pertains to Diddy being charged with this, and I'm not saying that it will happen now, but this is the first time a major law firm contacted me about my YouTube videos, about any information I may have pertaining to Kim Porter's death, and I'm ecstatic because this is what I've always wanted. This is what my goal was. I'm not discrediting all of the victims, everybody that's been essayed. Yes, I understand that and I sympathize with them. But my main focus, right? There was an intuition, there was a discernment that was just burning deep on the inside of me that made me feel that Diddy was responsible for Kim Porter's death. And so because of that, I started reaching out to people that I thought never would respond to me. You know, I'm a little old nobody. They're in the game. They're celebrities, they're millionaires, and people started responding back to me, giving me tidbits of information and things like that. And I'm so glad that I met Kim Porter back in the early 2000s when I was living in Atlanta, because honestly, I don't know if I would have covered her passing to the extent that I did. It was that first impression that she made on me. She came across so down to earth. She was so nice, and no, we didn't have this long drawn out conversation. It was a quick, hello, nice to meet you, and she went on her way. But the way she presented herself, it stuck with me. It stuck with me till this day. And listen, like I said, I don't know where this goes, but I'm just so happy that people are reaching out, lawyers are reaching out, wanting to know more information or wanting to use certain information because they're going after Diddy. They're going after Diddy, and I don't suspect that he gets out. I think that there's going to be a multitude of cases that involve deaths and so forth and so on that are going to be potentially reopened. I really do. I believe that with my whole entire heart. Now, there's a lot of things that I could go into, but I can't say it right now. But just know that your boy feels somewhat kind of vindicated because there was so much criticism coming my way behind the scenes. Y'all just don't know what kind of a dark place I was in when I was covering Kim Porter and the emails and the threats and all of that stuff that I was getting. But the great thing about it is where I'm from. I'm from North Carolina, baby. I got that DNA. I'm gonna push through it, and I'm not afraid of anything. No threats or anything is gonna deter me from putting out the truth. That's just how I'm wired. But anyway, let me transition, and I want to talk about the documentary that 50 produced on Netflix, Sean Combs' The Reckoning, right? So if I'm being honest here, and you know what, I want to say this before I go any further, it's just strange and odd that on the day that Netflix releases this documentary, that a high-powered law firm reaches out to me about the passing of Kim Porter. I mean, that's just crazy to me. But anyway, let me be honest about the documentary. I've been covering Diddy so long, and I've been investigating this situation so long, all aspects of it, that it really didn't tell me anything that I didn't already know, if I'm being honest. But it was well executed, it was well put together. 50 Cent did a very good job. The totality of how the story is told, the timestamps and things like that is nothing short of marvelous. Like, 50 did his due diligence, right? Getting all of this footage and things like that. He put it together very nice. Now, as far as the footage that 50 was able to obtain for the documentary, a lot of people are wondering where he got it from. And on yesterday, Diddy and his lawyers, they basically reached out to Netflix and sent a cease and desist, saying that the movie painted Sean Combs in a bad light and saying that it was untrue and things of that nature and that the footage was stolen. Well, I want you to check out this clip of this lady explaining how that cease and desist is not going to have any power over Netflix and the documentary that 50 Cent produced. Check this out.
Diddy's lawyer sent a cease and desist letter to Netflix to stop the Diddy documentary from airing, and it's not working, and I'm about to tell you why. Go ahead and follow this page. I'm about to break something down. Sean Combs and all his money cannot stop the 50 Cent produced Sean Combs The Reckoning documentary from airing on Netflix. As a TV producer and TV writer, I want to tell you how Sean Combs can say the footage is quote unquote stolen, and 50 Cent and Netflix can say not quite. In the entertainment industry, people often hire videographers with the intention of maybe doing a video of some sort, maybe doing a documentary. And what happens is you enter into an agreement and you say, hey, I'm going to follow you, for example, for 14 days. You're going to pay me X amount of money. Okay. Well, what happens is when the end of those 14 days happens and you go to turn in your footage, the person who has quote unquote hired you a lot of times goes missing, meaning that they're telling you to call the finance person to get the check, call this and that person to get the check. And before you know it, you have this footage and now you're trying to get your money for your services and nobody's returning your call. And so what happens is at some point after that, a light goes off in your head and you say, well, wait, I have footage. If I want to be made whole, I can sell this footage to anybody. I'm not saying that this is what happened, but I'm saying this is what could have happened. Okay. And so what happens is a videographer who now has footage, because that first agreement is null and void because nobody has paid the videographer. Okay. And so that person now sells it to the next person. And in this case, it could have been literally selling it to 50 Cent. And to this, I say, honor your contracts. If you hire somebody, pay them, because this is exactly how footage can come back and bite you in the butt. All right, y'all, that's one to grow on. Let me know what you think. Having the right mindset will prevent somebody from making this type of blunder. If you're interested in working on your mindset, please check out my free mindset guide. The link is in the bio. All right, y'all, see you next time.
And like I said yesterday, I believe 50 Cent and his team and Netflix, they dotted every I and crossed every T before they put this information out there. So I don't think that Diddy and his legal team can do anything. Maybe there's a back door that they can enter in and try to swoop it off of Netflix, but I don't think it's happening. Now, I want to turn your attention to some information that I got this morning, and it pertains to Mary J. Blige being upset behind the scenes over this documentary. Yes, Mary J. Blige is upset with 50 and this documentary. And I want to say that the information that I'm about to put out is all alleged information, even though it comes from a reputable source, an R&B superstar in the game. I'm not going to disclose their information, and it's not who you think it is, but I want to go ahead and read you what was presented to me. And so it says here, Mary J is upset about 50's doc on Diddy, saying that the doc was produced by hip hop's Brian McKnight. Ouch. When asked by blank, I can't disclose that person's name, about how she felt. Mary said although she will not watch it, she has heard bits and pieces about it and thinks Diddy is lame for producing the doc. She also said that his youngest son will end up like Marquise because of his hatred towards Daphne. Mary also said that Diddy isn't innocent, of course, but 50 isn't either. Shall we start to peel back all the layers of your onion? He will have his day of reckoning. All right, so this is allegedly coming from Mary J. Blige. She usually doesn't speak out about anything hardly. I feel personally, even though I love her music down to the ground, I feel like she's complicit in a lot of stuff, and that's why she remains quiet. But according to my plug, Mary J. Blige does not like the fact that 50 actually did this documentary. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people that have an issue with it, but when I look at the broader scheme of things, I just look at everything in its totality, and the way this documentary is set up, it really makes you so angry at Diddy, the type of person he was, the type of person that he still is. and he hides behind this moniker like everything is okay in public, but behind the scenes, he's the absolute devil. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm gonna let this go right now. I probably said a little bit too much on this video, so I could be expecting a call a little bit later, but it is what it is. I had to put it out there. But anyway, drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and if you're new here, go ahead and sub to the channel. I'll get with you guys later. Peace.